I joined the fire service in New South Wales in 1988 and stayed there for 2 years. And then when I was in Melbourne, I saw an ad for the fire service in Victoria and I thought I'd apply to be a firefighter with MFB and did so in 1990. So I've been a firefighter now for 31 years. In 2007, over a cup of tea with a friend of mine, she told me a story about the murder of her sister in 2004 by her estranged husband. Her name's Jane Ashton, and she was embarking on a journey of violence prevention based on what happened to her sister. She considered I'd be well placed to actually contribute to the prevention of violence as well. I wasn't sure about exactly where she was going with it, but she said that, in her words, me as a heterosexual alpha male in a respectful relationship with 4 children and as a firefighter, I'd be well placed to actually contribute to the prevention of violence against women. So she saw value in the uniform and she saw value in someone of value speaking about violence prevention. So in 2008, one of our main goals was to organise the first ever walk against violence in the city of Melbourne. It was also in 2008, Jane conscripted me into a working group at Vic Health who were developing the first 2-day short course into the prevention of violence against women. So the research commenced in the immediate aftermath in 2009 of Black Saturday, which brought together people from the emergency services sector to speak about the compounding effects of gender post a natural disaster and how we should consider gender in planning what we do before, during and after a disaster. So in International Women's Day in 2012, the Hidden Disasters Conference was launched. I was lucky enough through my relationship with women's health service providers and the violence prevention sector that I was invited into that Gender and Disaster Task Force in my capacity as a firefighter, and the fact that I had certain subject matter knowledge that a lot of other emergency responders may not have possessed. In 2014, the Gender and Disaster Task Force was established. Really significantly, one of the main outcomes was the Gender and Disaster Pod, so known as the GAD Pod, which is essentially an online resource for people to actually access video, training, research, whatever they need to get them up to speed with looking at gendered violence prevention through an emergency management lens. In 2016, the government had a Royal Commission into the prevention of gender violence. And one of the themes that comes out of it is how we communicate and the language you use and how we educate our children. Gendered stereotypes are a main cause of violence, particularly gendered violence. You've got to be tough, you've got to be strong, and you need to be able to be stoic and not show emotion to be a success. I think that the discussions of gender actually open up to people talking about vulnerability, talking about emotion. The more people speak about what they're going through post a natural disaster, and it could not just a natural disaster, but post any emergency incident, the more they speak about it, the better chance there is to recover from it. One of the reasons that we should be in the space of violence prevention is the fact that we're in a position of privilege. We're in a position where people in the community actually look at us. We are iconised as an organisation as well. Our brand is well known and recognised. People will actually listen to what we're saying because they listen to what we say about fire prevention and emergency prevention. We want to stop things before they actually happen, and that's what violence prevention is all about. It's about that upstream, stopping the violence before it happens, in that we're less reactive and we're much more proactive and prevention orientated. It is a whole of community matter. Everyone's got the opportunity to contribute in whichever way they can within their sphere of influence. And the reason I'm so passionate about the prevention of violence is because it's a basic human right to be safe. And I think that every woman has the right to feel safe, particularly when she's with her intimate partner or someone who loves her. So that's why I think the prevention of violence against women is really important.